What's up, YouTube? So before we get started on this video, on Undisputed, they're going to go over the same old thing, how LeBron might have a little bit too much drama in LA, and if whether or not maybe he should be traded. So let's see what they have to say.
But Shannon, I will go to you first on this one. Are you surprised by the report?
I don't put no stock in that, Skip. You know what? Yesterday, for a second there, I thought about buying a place up in Malibu. It crossed my mind. You see how that came and went?
Sounds
Skip,
nice.
because it would make no sense to me. You've done everything you've done to hopefully, because you knew 2019 was going to be the year of the free agent. Now, LeBron came up first in 2018, and now you got KD, you got Kawhi, you got a host of the Kyrie and Jimmy Butler, and a lot of other guys, Klay Thompson. You trade LeBron, okay? You know something I don't know, Genie Bus? Because if you trade LeBron, remember, although she hadn't run the team, her brothers was running it after her father passed, she been around. This is the 6th straight year they've missed the playoffs. But in the previous 5, there wasn't the buzz around the team that it is now. There wasn't the expectations about this team like it was in years past. This would make no sense to me. And what do you hope to get? What do you hope to get? Who gonna trade? Ain't nobody trade, because like I said, you're telling me LeBron is close to the end in the beginning, so why would I trade anything other than a bag of marbles and a box of flour?
So I definitely wouldn't trade LeBron. There's nothing really out there in a package that you can really get for LeBron. If I was going to get something, if I would trade for LeBron, it'd probably be for like a KD and maybe Kyrie, even though they're on different teams, but it'd have to be a package deal like that. Other than that, I'm not trading LeBron. Maybe a KD and Curry, something like that. Other than that, there's just no way I could trade for him. And maybe Paul George and Westbrook. It'd have to be a package deal with some superstars, Harden, Chris Paul, for maybe LeBron. But other than that, you'd be stupid to do it. You'd be stupid to do it. And I'm not a big LeBron fan. I respect his game, but I'm not one of his fans. So let's keep going.
So why would I trade anything for LeBron, Skip? He's there close to the end in the beginning.
And as I reminded you earlier, if you trade him, you have a 15% trade kicker in his contract, so he would go from $35.6 million to $42 million.
Wow, what a raise.
So it's almost like an Antonio Brown deal where you say, would somebody please take him off our hands?
Yikes.
You know, could we pay you to take LeBron?
In the sporting term, we call that a poison pill.
Oh.
Because what it does, because if you swallow it, gonna kill you. Because that's why we put that in there, because we know it might happen. Because we know once we left Cleveland, Skip, because we don't have 4 years of service with this team, we couldn't get that no trade clause. So we had to put a poison pill in there. Okay, you want my services? This is what it's gonna cost you. Jeannie Buss need to stop. Now, we've given her a pass because she's nice and we like Jeannie. I like Jeannie. But hold on, Skip. Don't make it seem like she been running this thing like R.C. Buford. Don't make it seem like she got this thing going, it's smooth sailing for the Lakers, because it ain't. That guy fell in your lap. It's like the winning lottery ticket. You just happen to walk in the store and find a lottery ticket on the floor, and next thing you know, you're running on the machine. You're like, what? I won $150 million.
Wait a minute, is Shannon saying that LeBron James fell in their lap? I think that was heavy recruiting. LeBron could have really gone anywhere. But Magic talked him into it, and, the whole swag of Hollywood and everything that goes along with that. So he didn't fall in anybody's lap. And everything's a calculated move with LeBron in about 5 steps. Except things just aren't really working out with the Lakers right now. So let's keep going.
Nice.
That's what happened to her. They didn't recruit him. He came to you.
And why did he come to you?
Well,
because you are located in Hollywood, California.
Because
right?
it was the only, as he said before, it was the only franchise that was worthy of his services.
I don't think it was a franchise. No, it was Hollywood.
It was Los Angeles. You know it, Shannon.
You're right. It was Hollywood and the whole aura of being a Laker and trying to win a championship like all the other Lakers, like Kobe, Shaq, Magic, Kareem. But it doesn't look good now, or does it, LeBron? It's not so easy when you come to the West. Let's keep going.
It was the only organization that was worthy of a king's service.
You mean an organization that hadn't made the playoffs in 5 years? Is that the organization
They still the Lakers? Are they not the Lakers?
Yeah, but they're the down Lakers.
So?
But I will give you this. Did you go to journalism school?
I did.
Because I'm going to give you a little bit of credit here.
I did?
I did.
That's revisionist history.
I know.
Well, I mean, lying seemed to be a big thing in TV these days.
But the thing you said about the whole story, and we had Rick Bucher on our radio show, The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio, and we talked about that. Because the thing that was yesterday.
Oh, you had him
we
yesterday?
had him on the show yesterday.
Okay.
Great.
So it was the part where you said contemplating, or she contemplated
Yeah,
it.
it crossed her mind.
It crossed her mind, which I agree with you from the standpoint of this. Because you know as well, Skip, if there was a trade or something involved, that would have been his lead, not 6 paragraphs in.
That's fair.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's number one, and that was a question that we talked to him about.
And he
now,
said
what he
what?
said,
Okay.
he said that no, she never picked up the phone and talked or engaged with anybody else. But did she think about it or like have this fleeting moment where she thought about it? Yes. So that answers the question why it wasn't his lead and why it was 6 paragraphs in. Because she never took any action on it.
Right.
And then you take a look and you say, you wouldn't give up LeBron or you wouldn't think about doing that. I think you would think about it only from the standpoint of this has been a failure. You can look at it any way you want. LeBron James, you know this. They were supposed to make the playoffs when he came here, okay?
Yes.
No matter what. And the other part, people keep going back. They were the 4th seed. LeBron got hurt. And that all sounds nice. But, Shannon, let's be honest. When he came back, they couldn't beat anybody with LeBron. They couldn't beat Memphis. They couldn't beat Atlanta. They couldn't beat New Orleans without AD, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those were games that if they would have won those games, they would have still been in the mix.
Right.
And that's what we all thought, that they would get in the playoffs the first year.
And let me cut you off, Rob, but there's also before LeBron got hurt. Well, there was like 2 or 3 games that they lost because LeBron missed key free throws. I mean, so there was a bunch of little things throughout the season that LeBron wasn't living up to his end of the bargain. And part of the reason why they're not going to be making the playoffs. I mean, so his injuries being gone for a month with a growing injury doesn't help. But let's not act like everything started falling apart right when he got hurt. So let's keep going.
They would survey the land with the young guys. None of that stuff happened. And the truth be told is, when you go back to KD, and Skip, he said it, go back and read it, the environment around LeBron is toxic. And he's right. He nailed it. It's not that LeBron can't play and put up numbers, but it's always some drama. There's always something involved. And when all that stuff came out from Rich Paul or whoever, because the other part is, and Chris Broussard talked about it, was that when those names came out, it was the Lakers were a part to put out some of those names too, because they swung and missed on Paul George because they didn't go after him hard enough. Okay. So they didn't want to be looked at as like, here we go again, where AD might be available and we're like tiptoeing around. So we put it.
No, wait a minute. So Paul George didn't come to the Lakers because he didn't really want to deal with LeBron and everything that goes with LeBron. Because he knows if they didn't win, if something happened, he'd be thrown under the bus. He'd have to deal with LeBron. And at this point, LeBron's got more clout by far than Paul George. So Paul George's like, you know what? That's fine. I'll just go to OKC and have something like MVP season this year. Me and Westbrook just chilling. That's why. So don't act like, oh, well, they didn't want him or it was some type of other scenario. Paul George didn't want to play with LeBron. Just like other players too, like Kawhi Leonard. Well, he went to Toronto. I think he could have came to the Lakers. What, Kyrie was looking around. I think he was thinking about coming to the Lakers, but he already left LeBron the first time. Doesn't want to do that. And now, I think Kevin Durant's talking about going someplace other than going to L.A. So your problem is really LeBron. So don't act like, other people are just leaving just to leave or don't want to come here. Let's keep going.
All out there. No, we're all the way in. We want this guy, and it backfired on them.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I get it. The chance of them trading him is like almost zero. But to honestly think about where they are, where they're going moving forward, and if they can't get a second star in the offseason, and it's not guaranteed, this is going to be a disaster. It's 4 years.
A second and a...
So I think right now it does look bad. And if they don't get anybody during the summertime, it will look bad and we'll have another bad season. But I think within LeBron James' 4-year contract, somebody's going to come over. Somebody's going to come over and they're going to get the ball rolling again. Now, are they going to run through the West? Are they going to go deep in the playoffs? I don't know. But I think they might make the playoffs again with LeBron. And I think somebody is going to come. Somebody's going to come play with LeBron, suck it up, and deal with his whatever antics he has going on. But somebody's going to come. And once they do, I think they'll get it rolling again, and people will start changing their mind. It's just there's such high expectations when LeBron James is here because he can go to the playoffs and to the finals with trash with Cleveland, but you can't do it in L.A.? So let's keep going.
Third star if they want to do business.
Right, but he needs at least a second star.
I would agree. I have known Rick Bucher for a long time. I trust him. I respect him. I'm taking all of this to the bank, that this isn't some shoddy, reckless reporting job
100%.
or some outlandish conclusion. Mm-hmm. So do I believe that Jeannie Buss, as he says, was furious at Rich Paul for leaking rumors about this, for sort of trying to power play this into existence? It felt like Rich was running the Lakers, like he was going to force this trade to happen. Okay. And she was, according to Rick Bucher, furious. And it took Rich Paul calling her and clearing the air and getting back in her good graces for her to back off the prospect, the thought in her head of, maybe I should just cut bait with everything. And it's not just cutting bait with LeBron, but it's with Rich Paul and everything that LeBron brings to a franchise, which is he's going to dominate the whole show.
But if I'm LeBron, I'm looking at Jeannie a little different because if something crossed my mind and I don't tell nobody, how would they know?
You could be right about that.
Rob Parker, you can't tell me what crossed your mind, then I know what crossed your mind.
You wouldn't know.
So Rich could know that this crossed your mind. Somebody named Jeannie Buss had to tell me.
The bridge is on fire.
I agree with that.
It's on fire. Rick goes on to say that several league executives would not be surprised if the Lakers at least explored their options going forward, trading LeBron. And he brings up the Bucks and the Celtics as possibilities of would they plunge for him? Would they give up?
Oh, yeah.
Would they plunge? Would they try to pair Giannis?
There's no way. There's no teams out there that you're gonna get for LeBron. There's no package that you're gonna get for LeBron that anybody's gonna give up. Especially with everything that's going on with LeBron now, and especially with the drama and the on-court play. There's no way. There's no way.
With LeBron going forward, Celtics got all the pieces, all the draft picks. You could try.
Would LeBron go? Or would he retire?
I don't
know.
No,
he ain't retired. We got too much basketball in him.
Well, he has no trade veto.
No, right. But I'm just saying, would he go and play? He came to Los Angeles for a reason.
But you know what, Rob? I noticed you didn't read it and Skip didn't read it. Because there's one Eastern Conference exec say LeBron James now, he's not good enough to take 4 cadavers to a finals. But you ain't read that. You got to.
Okay, wait a second. What is your point reading and re-emphasizing that quote?
The same
you're looking into the past that you want to bring up the fact that he took 4 dead guys to the finals.
I didn't say
but you know what? Kyrie had a pulse. Kevin Love had a pulse.
And they were also played in the weak Eastern Conference, which helped out. Admit it.
Okay.
Is the West the same?
How many shots Kyrie hit for him last year?
Okay, but Shannon, you realize you're doing in your own argument because you're also reinforcing the fact he can't do that anymore.
No.
Father Time is tapping on shoulder.
Well, it's only been 1 year since he left Cleveland. He was in the finals last year. So Father Time's not going to catch up that quick. Like I said, he can go to the finals with trash in the East last year, but you can't do it with trash in the West this year. It's a whole different ball game when you come out to the West, LeBron, and he's learned that very quickly. Let's keep going.
Aim the guy that can. Well, there's a reason why KD left OKC.
Hey, but you're telling me he's still the best player on the planet, and he's the GOAT.
Best player. Hold on. So you're trying to tell me a best player can be their best team? That's why Michael could not beat the Big Three Celtics. They had the better team. Am I right, Rob?
Yes, they had Hall of Famers.
And what about the bad boy Pistons? He couldn't do it till he got better players.
He was a baby, and he didn't get better players.
You see, you're a baby.
Come on,
now.
stop
you're
it.
Baby.
But you're not admitting that LeBron hasn't taken a step back this year, Shannon?
27-8, stepping back.
Yeah.
Yes.
From where?
27-8 and missing the playoffs, though. Your stats don't mean anything if you don't make the playoffs, especially when you've made the playoffs 8 years in a row. 8 years in a row. And you can't make the playoffs with the same type of caliber team you had when you played in the West last year? That's a problem. That's a step back, no matter how you look at it. No matter how you look at it, that's a step back. Let's keep going.
Those numbers are phony. They're not the same.
Not the same because they're not winning.
They're not the same.
Because they're not winning.
Yes, because it does matter if you win.
Let's read the other quote from the Eastern Conference owner who said, I wouldn't gut my team for a player who isn't committed and is toward the end of his career. Committed. LeBron was not completely, fully invested in this year's Lakers. He is chasing Mike.
Look, you know LeBron James wasn't fully invested in the Lakers because when he said what was about a month ago, he says, well, I'm not here to do anything. I mean, whatever happens after this point, but with me being on Lakers, it's all icing on the cake. I have nothing to prove. I'm not chasing rings. So anything after this with the Lakers, it's all icing on the cake. Now, is that what you want to hear from a player that you just signed to the Lakers? Is that what you want to hear from somebody who's supposed to be the GOAT? Is that what you want to hear from somebody who's supposed to be the best player in the NBA right now? That's not what you want to hear when you just signed that guy. That is not what you want to hear. That means you're not fully invested at all. And he admits to it. Let's keep going.
B. Jordan as well as Michael Jordan. So there's 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
He done passed Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Okay.
So he might as well chase Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
He already done passed Michael Jeffrey.
It's partly about Hollywood now to a fault. And again, he took one look at this team, which he liked going in. He asked for playmakers, not three-point snipers. And he said, yeah, we got a chance. And for a while, they played pretty well. But was he ever fully engaged? It didn't look like it to me. He looked lethargic.
And Skip, you know this too. Everywhere LeBron has always gone, he's already had his pieces in place. This was the first time that he showed up and go, well, I'll wait and see what happens because he just wanted to be in Hollywood.
I want LeBron.
Exactly, Rob. And how did that work out for him? How did that work out for him? It didn't work out good for him at all. It didn't work out at all. And that means something. That means that you probably aren't the GOAT, and that means you can't do it by yourself. You can't hold it down by yourself. Unlike Kobe, who won 2 rings without Shaq, with pretty much trash Park Gasol and maybe a Metta World Peace. So LeBron's got some soul searching to do. Definitely some soul searching to do. So let's keep going.
Be less committed next year. So next year, he might give me 30, 12, and 10. I want him to be less committed next year than what he is right now.
And what will you give us next year? 12th place?
I don't know.
It's hard for those Lakers fans, though. Their record at this point is the same as it was last season.
That's amazing.
Hold on. The Lakers should be just fine. Because what was their record the previous 4 years before last year?
No, but they got LeBron to change all that.
At least to be in a better place.
Exactly, Rob. Shannon, you're gods here. You're gods in L.A. now. So isn't he supposed to be making the playoffs? Isn't he supposed to be the GOAT? Isn't he supposed to be leading them to the top? To make it to the finals? I don't think so. You know why? Because he's in the West right now. This is not the East. This isn't going to be a cakewalk to the finals. This is not going to be a cakewalk. And he's learned that. So let's keep going.
Championship did Shaq bring before he got Kobe? How many championships did Kobe bring before he got Powell? But Andrew Bynum turned it around.
But is he
stop playing?
Is he the best player?
Best player. Is he on the best team? Put KD, switch positions.
But we're not even talking about championship. We're talking about making the playoffs, Skip, where half the league makes the playoffs in their sleep.
Okay.